Hello and welcome to another update video about Cosmos Atom. Cosmos is really holding well, but is struggling to make a new all-time high in the current environment. That pretty much goes in line with my expectation and my wave count here. When we were back here in October, I told you that we were at the top. We had various negative signs here. We had crossing, we had bearish crosses on the indicators. We had bearish crosses on the moving averages. We did cross the moving averages to the downside. That was for me the beginning of a correction, made you aware back then. We then came all the way down in a wave A here to the downside. And recently I started covering Cosmos again, now that we're getting to another wave top. Made you aware that I think we are here pretty much at the limit for now. Now I could be wrong, as always there's no guarantee and no financial advice. But this is based on my view that this is a corrective wave to the upside, yeah? That this was a wave top. Since then we've seen here a more complex correction to the downside. This could have been an impulse down. What you see here is now this correction of the impulse, and then you are going to see another impulse down. Gave you for this wave B here my price target area. This was, Cosmos did go above it, but this does not invalidate it at all. I gave you here the 0.786 and the 0.887 fib level as a target area. Now the price did react to it, to these fib levels, sitting between $40 and $42 pretty much. The price did overshoot it slightly, did go exactly to the all-time high, which is absolutely possible in a wave B. And what have we done now? We have since then fallen below the target area again. What does that mean? Two things. First is, or three things actually. One is we have made a double top here. So first of all, if you zoom out, we actually have something here like a triple top. Yeah, a massive top, which is not a good sign. Then you have a smaller double top here. Also not necessarily a good sign because the price struggled to make a new high. Then we dropped below the fib levels here, below the 0.887 and below the 0.786 fib level. So we dropped outside of my target area again to the downside. By the way, with target area, I mean, this is the area where I would have expected a turnaround, yeah, to complete this correction, this larger correction that we are in, that we have been in since the top here in October, or actually the top was in September. My last video was in the beginning of October, and that's when I made you aware that there could be something coming, a correction. But this correction will need to end with the wave C down here somewhere, in my view, in this range between $12 and $20. Don't think that is an unrealistic price, given what Bitcoin is doing and where we can expect Bitcoin to hit, which would be below 30K in this current correction, based on the size of that correction, which actually started much earlier in the year, also for Bitcoin much earlier in the year. But you've got that. And also told you in my last video that of course you never know, the price could go up from here, but use a trend line as support. You know, we had a valid trend line here, various touch points there. Probably need to adjust that slightly up. And if we break that trend line, it's time to consider, you need to make your decisions then your own. But I think then that is when we can be more certain that a correction is coming, confirmed by the double top and the larger triple top, confirmed by the elite wave count that this could be a B correction. And also that here on the daily, and we can see that on the daily we were overbought as well. And what you can also see here is a slight bearish divergence on the RSI. So the RSI didn't make it higher than the previous one, actually a little bit lower on the daily, whereas the price level was pretty much the same. The MACD is also lower. The MACD is significantly lower than the last time. You see the MACD line here in blue. Whoops, just need to adjust that. So if you see the wave top from back then here in September, the MACD was really high, and now obviously the MACD struggled to make a higher high, which is also considered a bearish divergence on the daily. Is not insignificant, yeah, it's not insignificant, so we need to pay attention to it. And overall, I think we can define on the chart another trend line, another ascending trend line that is not a confirmed trend line yet, but you've got one touch point here, two touch points there. And we could, if we come down to this trend line, that could act as support. If we came down today, because an ascending trend line can't really give you an actual value, but that would be at today $32, yeah. Then at this level, you also have the 20-day moving average here in white, which is going to provide further support. So unless the price can now push higher, make a higher high here, I think we're going to turn around and are going to see us dropping here lower, possibly to that trend line. That would then be aligned with my wave count, and I would expect this correction to finish. Only when we can finish that correction, I think we can then move higher here. Yes, there is of course a slight chance that we move higher from here, but at the moment I personally would want to wait for confirmation that we make a higher high, because at the moment it's looking like you know, we're struggling to make a higher high, which is not a good sign. The bulls are not that strong, and we've fallen below a trend line. So I would personally expect a further correction from here. So hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.